Mr. Carter on the line.
Put him through.
I have a problem. There's a man in my office with a gun who says that he's going to kill me if we don't pay him back $130,000 that one of our lieutenants stole from him.
It's 70. Look.
How much is this guy Carter worth to you?
What do you mean?
My money, yes or no?
No.
Not many men know what their life's worth. I do. 70 grand. That's what they took from me.
Oh!
That's what I was gonna get back. They weren't wearing their seatbelts.
Who the hell are you?
I'm Porter.
He said his name was Porter.
Porter? Porter?
Yeah, real Cro-Magnon looking. You're not gonna kill me, are you?
Well, what's his first name?
I don't know.
You.
No, don't. Allow me.
You look pretty good for a dead guy.
You were the only good thing in my life that hadn't been taken from me. I couldn't stay away.
You're one hell of a mosquito.
To get rid of you, I'll swat you with 130 grand.
It's not 100.
Hey!
Perfect.
Yes, it's all right. He's just killing my alligator bags and shooting holes in my suit. Man, that's just mean. That's mean, man.
Where have you been?
Evening up the odds a little.
This February,
Hubba, hubba, hubba.
get ready.
Everything working out?
Oh, yeah.
To root for the bad guy.
You are crazy. That's why I love you.
You just signed your own death warrant for $130,000. What is it? The principal or something?
Stop it, I'm getting misty. And tell him it's 70, will you?
Mel Gibson. What do you mean it's only 70? It's only 70,000? Hell, my suits are worth more than that. Payback.
Careful, boy. He might bite you back.
Get ready for the big payback. Got to get ready for the big payback.
Welcome to the latest episode of the B Movie Club. I'm your host, Kevin. This week we'll be discussing the 1999 action comedy classic, Payback, starring Mel Gibson. It's really an all-star cast. You got James Coburn, Chris Christopherson, William Devane, the list goes on and on. For those of you joining us for the first time, each week on the B Movie Club we discuss certain guilty pleasures and forgotten classics of the past. You can go to our page on YouTube and hit KD9575, that's me. Hit the subscribe button, it's totally free. Don't forget to go to our page on Facebook, Original B Movie Club, give us the big thumbs up. And don't forget to follow me on Twitter at the B Movie Club. Spread the word, won't you? The more the merrier. Payback. In this gentleman named Porter, he's a professional thief. On his last job, he was betrayed by his drug-addled wife and his partner. It was a big heist. They were supposed to steal $500,000 in cash. They opened up the briefcase and it only had $140,000, which wasn't the deal. So his partner, Val, with the help, he convinces the drug-addled wife that Porter was cheating on her. So she shoots Porter in the back. Porter is laid up. They think he's dead, but he's not dead. Comes back to town after months and months of rehab, having his injuries taken care of. And he's out to get revenge and get his $70,000. Goes and visits his wife, who is, like I said, drug-addled. And she manages to OD on him on his first night back. He's very upset. He tracks down his former partner, Val, who needed the money. He needed $130,000 because he owed money to this criminal organization known as the Outfit. Okay, so he took that money, gave it to those guys, so now he's living in the Outfit apartments, doing various criminal activities. He breaks into the hotel, Porter, goes right to Val and threatens him and says, I want my $70,000 back or it's curtains for you, kid. Okay? Val is afraid of Porter because Porter's obviously a tough guy. Even though Val's basically a psychopath and a sadist, Porter's just a little tougher, I guess. So he goes to his bosses. The bosses basically say, hey, handle it yourself, kid. You're on your own. But the bosses are kind of intrigued. They're like, what is this about this guy Porter that thinks he can basically muscle our guys? It's kind of, it's shocking to us. So we're going to, even though we're telling Val to handle it, we're also going to get involved. So Val goes and tracks down the guys they originally ripped off, these Yakuza guys, and tells them Porter is the one who ripped you off all those months ago. So he's got to deal with them. They're coming for him. There's a drug-dealing taxi driver who wants his cut of it. There's a couple of crooked cops who are on his tail. Of course, Val the Psycho and the mob guys working for the outfit. They're all after him. I don't want to spoil everything. I don't want to give it all away, okay? Suffice it to say that he wins. Hey! Okay, I guess that's a big spoiler. Anyway, this movie, Payback, is based upon an earlier film from the 60s starring Lee Marvin called Point Blank, which was based upon a book called The Hunter by Donald Westlake, writing under the pseudonym Richard Stark. It's all very complicated. Now, this particular story has been done a few times, and each time Donald Westlake, the author, tells them, unless you're going to make a series of movies based upon my character, who in the book is named Parker, then you have to change the name, okay? Unless it's going to be like a series of Parker movies, like James Bond movies, you have to change the name. So in Point Blank, Parker is called Walker, and in Payback, Parker is called Porter, okay? Now, a few years ago, after Donald Westlake died, his widow just basically said, whatever. So they did make a movie just called Parker, okay? And it starred Jason Statham, doing the same thing. Basically, it's that kind of, hey, I'm a gangster, I'm a thief, but I have kind of an ethic about me kind of thing, kind of. So in this movie, Mel Gibson, who plays Porter in this movie, he was working with Richard Donner when they were filming a movie called Conspiracy Theory. And Richard Donner is like an assistant, somebody working beneath him. Brian Helgeland was working on the script for Payback. Mel Gibson saw it, was kind of intrigued by it, and said, you know what, I'm interested in the script. And Helgeland's like, well, I'm a screenwriter, but I want to get into directing. So if we do this, I want to direct it. And Mel Gibson said, well, when you finish the script, send it to me, and then if it's good, then I'll take a chance on you. So he sends him the script when he's done. Weeks pass, he thinks, oh, well, I guess that's not going to happen. And Mel Gibson calls him up and says, hey, can you be ready in 12 weeks? Booyah. So they were trying to go for kind of a 70s kind of noirish kind of thing. So they actually used a process to make the pictures look kind of washed out, kind of very blue tones. I think at one point Mel Gibson said he would have rather the movie was in black and white to kind of, again, give it that kind of noirish flavor, if you will. After Brian Helgeland had shot the entire film, he turned it into the studio executives, and they didn't like it. They fired him, brought in a new guy, an uncredited director, to reshoot 30% of the film. Now, Porter's supposed to work his way through the crime family, and the main boss, a character named Bronson, in the original cut was just a voice on a phone. It was originally supposed to be Angie Dickinson. Later, it was changed to Sally Kellerman. When they reshot the movie, they got rid of the voiceovers and they hired Chris Christopherson to play the actual role of Bronson, and added this whole subplot about Bronson's son was going to the fight, and they're going to kidnap the son to get the money back and all this stuff. And some people like it, but about 7 years later, in 2006, Brian Helgeland released his version, and it's called Payback Straight Up. So you can go actually see the original director's cut of Payback, if that is something you're interested in. Okay, it's out there. It is available. Lucy Liu played a dominatrix named Pearl in this movie. And it's one of her first movie roles. She was like an Ally McBeal prior to this. So, you know, people going on to do great things. William Devane plays a crime boss. James Coburn plays a crime boss. And then, like I said, their boss is Chris Christopherson. So there's all these interesting layers to this. So check it out. Let me know what you think. It did reasonably well in the box office. It's considered a hit, although it currently has a 54% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. I enjoy it. It's kind of Mel Gibson doing Mel Gibson type things where it's like, you know, it's a shoot 'em up, but he kind of plays it with kind of this dry, sarcastic wit, this quality. You never get the idea that he's ever in much danger, even in like the end of the movie where he's basically being tortured. Yeah, it's a fun movie. You get this. He's the star of the show. You know he's going to accomplish whatever he wants. So he's going to take on this criminal organization single-handedly for $70,000, and it becomes a running joke because they can't believe that anybody would be so stupid to go up against the outfit for a mere $70,000. So they keep thinking that he's asking for $130,000. So good times. It's a laugh riot. So it has those noirish qualities which we like. It has a little bit of the comedy. It has kind of the Mel Gibson stuff that we enjoy, or used to enjoy. Hey. So I recommend it. I mean, you know, if you like that kind of thing, check it out. It is still streaming instantly on Netflix. Like I said, it has a 54% rotten on Rotten Tomatoes. What are you going to do? Okay? This is kind of towards the end, the swan song of his career. But check it out, won't you? There you go. Next week, I'm moving away from the shoot 'em ups, the action. We're moving in a whole new direction. My sister Erin will be joining us again, and like always, she has some interesting movie suggestions. We're going to be doing the Neil Diamond classic, The Jazz Singer, starring, of course, Neil Diamond in his one and only starring role, along with Sir Laurence Olivier, so you got him in there, and Lucy Arnaz, that's right, Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz's daughter, and what I understand is her only acting role. So with all this inexperience, it's got to be good, doesn't it? I don't know. So send in any comments, questions, favorite scenes, favorite quotes if you have any, and I may talk about it on the show. And don't forget movie suggestions. Please, keep them coming. Clearly, I'm doing The Jazz Singer. Anything goes. There's nothing off the table, okay? So there you have it. Don't forget to go to our page on Facebook, Original B Movie Club. Give us the thumbs up. Go to our page on YouTube and subscribe. It's totally free. Don't forget to follow me on Twitter at the B Movie Club. As you know, I end every episode with a totally out of context quote. And here it is. She said she'd stop hooking if I stopped shooting people. Maybe we were aiming high. Hey, good times. Another thing that they added, coincidentally, from the original director's cut to the theatrical release was the voiceover. Oftentimes, when they feel a movie's not going so well, they go, you know what, just add a voiceover. Voiceover, that way we can explain all the inner workings of our characters' motivations. So, there you have it. Good times. So thank you for joining us. Next week, The Jazz Singer with Erin joining us once again. Can't wait. Be well.